Okay, hi everyone, welcome to a new video. We analyze today game 3 of my match with Cammymoop. We're still in the round robin phase. This was my second match played after the one with the others. And in the first two games there was a draw and I won the second game. So if I win the third game, then I'll win the match. The match is played over 4 games. And I have white, so I definitely have good chances to win. So let's see how it goes. I played with Ladybug, and I went for this Mosquito with the idea of playing a buffer opening. There are different ways to play the buffer. You can also delay the choice for one move and play, for example, an ant here. And so black doesn't know if you're going to play the queen in a buffer position or in a standard flank position. I decided to go for this. Of course, there are pros and cons, but when you play white, you probably transpose into one of the two anyway, so it's not a big problem. The only issue here, I mean, it's not really an issue, but the only thing that black gains from this early queen placement is that black decide if they want to play a Z or a C buffer opening, so depending on where the black queen is placed. And surprise, my opponent goes for another buffer. So we actually have a double buffer, which is used to be kind of rare, but it's not that rare anymore. It's not that uncommon. And in a C configuration, so the two queens are on the same side. So very symmetrical position. At some point, of course, black will have to take a decision and play something that will probably break the symmetry, or it will be forced to break the symmetry by white. Keep symmetric position, and here I went for this move. Potentially black can actually go for the symmetric move, but here I am pinning the mosquito. The black ant here is not actually pinning. Like if the ant went here, it will not actually pin the mosquito, right? So there might be other moves that make more sense. Probably this move, which is the typical move that actually white plays when black has like put the buffer on. The idea is to break this sort of diamond, so white struggles a bit more to free the mosquito here. My opponent, although, played another ant, which is still, of course, a good move. I decided to complete diamond with the pill bag. Although also placing an ant would have been a good choice. The good thing of this buffer is that this diamond is flexible in the sense that if black pins the ant, then the mosquito is free, and if black pins the mosquito, then the ant is free. So not really a big problem. But also playing the pill bug as I did is fine. In this case for a different reason. Because if black pins the mosquito also has spellback power, so white could play an extra ant, and if black pins it, then white actually moved the black ant away, and now white has got the mosquito back, so not a big problem. My opponent, though, therefore decided to go for this move, and I complete my pocket. Now I have 2 ants, black has 2 ants as well, and now we'll see the first move that I probably don't like too much. The reason is that this ant, the ant number 2, is next to the black queen and it stays there, and white can just spin it. White can just spin the ant, and this is a compound attack, so not only you pin an ant, it's also next to the opponent queen, and in some cases could work, but I feel here black is not in the position, doesn't have enough pieces in play that can like sacrifice an ant and counterattack, for example. So actually, if I had to choose, I would probably go for the other way around. I would play this here, because this black ant here is kind of safe in the pocket. It's a bit unusual to put an ant in the pocket, but if white tries to kind of block the ant in this way, black has always the option to move the ant out using the pill bug. So white doesn't achieve really that much. I mean, it breaks the pocket, so black cannot use this pocket anymore. It could also play a different move, like another ant, and then if white changes their mind, then black has actually another free ant here. So I feel this was a better way for black to go. But my opponent played this move, allowing me to pin the ant in a compound attack. And I decided to go for a true pin, so if inline pin, because I thought there was no time to go for a pin replacement, and the mosquito can still take the last kill shot in like in one of these two places. I feel this was more safe. Black goes for place the beetle, like take advantage of the pocket, and I do the same. This was probably not an ideal move, although it has some benefits in the sense that black has again the pocket available, and at the same time it's threatening to cover the pillbug. But white has this good response, which is pinning the beetle, moving the pillbug apparently far from the queen, but you are still in a proximity position. It controls these two spaces here, right? Let's use board space on this one, and can I put another one? Yes, okay, controlling these two spaces, so it's still fine. The only issue of this move is that white has actually pinned their own beetle at the same time. Black goes on with this move, which I think is another mistake. The problem here is black wants to put another ant down, okay? Definitely, otherwise white will place an ant down and black is too far behind. It could take advantage of the pocket, but I think it's still a bit slow. The main issue is that the beetle needs 1, 2, 3, 4 moves to get to cover the queen. This is another advantage of buffer openings. If your opponent doesn't place an anchor here, beetle attacks are pretty slow. So yeah, it's something I wasn't really afraid of. Instead of this move, probably placing an ant here would have been better. Why here is better than here? Well, you'll see in a second. I decide to pin both ants at the same time, and my ant is the pivot, is the center of this elbow, which means in the future I can actually place easily another piece here and free my ant. And I can do this because I'm pinning both ants here. If I don't do that, if I let the other ant move away, let's say, yeah, I don't know, I play this move and then just get pinned, this black ant here is able to shift the pin whenever I fill this elbow. So I need to fix the shape of the hive first before thinking about any of this. And in general, if you can go for a 2-for-1 pin, where you're pinning 2 major pieces, 2 ants for 1, it's something you always have to consider. Of course, you might say, okay, but at the same time you are freeing a mosquito, right? My opponent could have played this as well, or this move, and effectively freeze mosquito and the ladybug at the same time. So yeah, maybe this move is not perfect, but I thought that if I could keep enough ant control in the long run, this would be beneficial, considering I also have already this here. If this was the other way around, if the black ant was pinning my mosquito, then maybe it would have been a bit more complicated, but in this case I felt I was quite ahead in the ant game. So my opponent goes for this move, free the mosquito. I decide to go for a pin replacement, given that there are no ants. If there was another ant pinning my spider, I should have thought more about it. But in this case, there was nothing like that, so I decided just to go for it. And the good thing of the spider for pin replacement is that if the mosquito goes to pin the piece that you are that the ants that you are freeing, you can pin that as well. Compared to a pin replacement made with a grasshopper, it's a bit different. So black goes for this, and I'm not in a rush. Maybe actually I should have played this before. I played an ant first, so black still has the option of shifting the pin and go here. But of course my ant is free here, so I still have good ant control. Black jumps in with the ladybug. Now it has an anchor point, but it's a bit too late, I would say. Or if not too late, the problem is that whenever a beetle is placed, I have enough ant to defend, so not a big issue. Shut down completely ants and mosquito your opponent. Of course, I didn't mention it, but there was another elbow here. So black takes advantage of that, but since I have another ant, that's fine. So now the ant situation is definitely like there's no much to do for black, and I feel quite confident here. Black plays a beetle. I go for this sort of ring. It's not a problem because the black beetle is in a bidirectional pin in this lock, and so the ring is good for me. Black tries to put some chaos, like try to attack quickly, but unfortunately I have this move that moves the beetle in this spot, which seems counterintuitive, but the idea is that now the beetle is in this 3 lock and in this bidirectional pin, and I free both my beetle at the same time. At the same time, the other beetle is locked as well. So, although I missed this move is quite interesting. The idea is this ring is now actually quite good for black. Probably not enough to get back into the game, but was quite interesting. Because if I cover this beetle, then the pill bug is covered by the other beetle. I mean, still, yeah, it's not an issue because the black beetle is here, but at least one of the black beetle is alive. So what I did instead is just to cover it with the other beetle, but I mean, same idea. Black places a spider down with the idea of freeing the ladybug. But in general, of course, spiders should be outside the hive, but it's also a good idea to use them as a like backbone of the hive, right? Just exchanging them for another piece. In this case, black locks the spider but frees the ladybug. Unfortunately, I can cover the ladybug straight away, so it doesn't work too well, but it was actually a good idea. There's also this elbow here that black decided to take advantage of. Unfortunately, I have another ant free, so yeah, there's not much else to do. Black plays a grasshopper. Now it's my turn to attack. Black again tries to free an ant, but I still keep good control. And covering the pill bug finally, so I qualify for the win. And now I don't really need to keep more ant control. Actually, I can't even if I want to, because the black is in this nice pocket. But I mean, ant control is important only if it finalized or something, you want to get something out, and if you can attack eventually. And this is what happened. So black gets back a little bit of ant control, but not enough. And after this, I surround completely the pillbag. So pillbag is suffocated, and next move I'm gonna go here using the mosquito. And there's not much to do. If black pins my mosquito, if black pins my mosquito, of course I have the other ant, and the game is over. So all in all, yeah, quite an interesting game, this double buffer. Okay, hope you enjoyed it, and see you soon with the last video of the match with others of my World Championship 2023. Bye. Subscribe if you like the video, and yeah, like. Bye.